500 shillings, about $4 US. That's what investigators say it costs to rent a Kenyan to beat up another Kenyan. Not a hired assassin. A boy from down the road, hungry, unemployed, picking up a club today because nobody offered him a job yesterday. We call them, quote unquote, goons. But tonight, I want you to stop saying that word like it's slang. Because a goon is doing a lot of hiding for a system that has been paying young Kenyan bodies to silence other Kenyans for over 100 years. Goonism, this is not something that just started on X or with Gen Z. It did not even start with Mungiki. Years after independence, we have seen different breeds. Jeshi la Mzee, Kanu's foot soldiers in the 90s. They beat Reverend Timothy Njoya bloody on Moi Avenue for demanding a new constitution while police stood and watched. A sitting MP was named in parliament as their financier. So there was Mungiki, there has been Taliban, there has been Kamjesh, there has been Chinkororo, there has been Digo Raiders. Different names, different decades, same job description. Violence for hire. Protection for the powerful. And who are they really? Like for real, who are they? They're not villains from another planet. They're us, young, broke, from Githurai, Kondele, Kangemi, Kibra, from CBDs everywhere. The state has failed to build one single youth employment plan. This is not a values crisis. It is a manufacture shortage, dressed up as a morality tale, so the real sponsors never have to answer for it. So me as Charlotte, I am not here to tell you who's guilty. I'm here to ask the question everybody in power would rather we didn't. So welcome to the Gen Z Manifesto. My name is Charlotte Kibet and I am of course joined by my amazing colleague huko Majibu Kitsao. Karibu sana. Majibu, naona umeng'ara huko sana. Hata tukiongelea topic ya leo, unajua rada iko wapi na goonism in this country. Is it a norm in our country? But so allow me to just pass it over to you. Naona watu wako pia wameng'ara sana. Right? Majibu, video panel wanasemaje kuhusu stuff ya goonism? Nani ni goon?
Actually nashangaa sana. So Kenya can comfortably send its troops over 7,000 miles away from Nairobi to Haiti to go and fight criminal gangs in a foreign country, but can't do it at home. Shame on you. If Kenya is a democracy, why do peaceful political gatherings continue to be disrupted by goons? Alafu tuko hapa nje bragging of how successful the multinational security mission was in Haiti. Again, niwaambie, shame on you. Until sahi, no one at the top has been arrested in regards to the chaos. Nani anawaorganize? Who is financing these goons? Mwache kutupima. Kwendeni huko. Tuanze show sasa, nimejam by the way. Show ianze. Welcome to the Gen Z Manifesto. It's another Tuesday. We are live on K24 TV and Kameme TV. Charlotte, ushasema mazee majenzi wamejaa ndani ya studio, watu ambie rada ni gani na story ya goonism. Niko na Scofield John pale kando. Tuambie bro, we saw chaos witnessed in Kisumu, in Nyahururu, co-opposition rallies, na pia tumeona before. Rada ni gani na story mzee?
First of all, asante sana, and I'm happy. 392 days to one term. I'm so happy. History ya goonism. Strike kusema imeanza leo, imeanza jana, but tuseme ni kama inakuwa revived. Ndio inaanzishwa tena upya. Unaona? Because why would you want to go and attack peaceful rallies? Yet the government wanna state that these people organizing these rallies, they are agendaless. Hawana manifesto, hawana anything, but why are you interested in disrupting their rallies? Why? Unaona? So our goons to gava tu inafanya iache mambo mingi na wao. Unaona? Because mbono utoe mse for that 500 bob umempea. Yes. Hiyo 500 bob ndio itakusustain for that period, a day or two. But kutoka hapo je kwenda mbele, how you supposed to survive? Because hii job si kila siku, but how you supposed to survive?
Waliwaambia wakishaingia kwa power watawapatia kazi, jobs for the youths. Kazi ndio hizo sasa. Hizo
ni stories zilianza kusemwa kitambo, hata tusirudi hapo. Stories za jaba.
Si kazi ni kazi.
Kazi ni kazi, lakini guni zimzi. Wape kazi hata wafagie barabara. Lakini kuwapea so 5,000, 1,000, mnaenda kudisrupt mikutano za watu. Sayadi ya waogopi wanaingia hadi church. Sayadi church wanaingia tu bila uoga yoyote.
Safi. Zinacheza hapo, director shatoa. But hizo ni cutaways za the events which happened over the weekend. On Sunday, this was Nyahururu. Wanatakiwa mazi. Mnaona, we are seeing what is happening in the country right now. Magari yanakuwa vandalized, mainly from the opposition. Mwenye ako na mic sahi, tuambie bro, uliona kenye ili happen in Nyahururu na pia Kisumu kwa rally za Linda Mwananchi over the weekend. What do you have to say? Do you believe the government wakisema that hawahusiki na hizi vitu zote?
Good evening, fellow comrades. My name is Mako Abdibrahim, and this is a very serious issue. First of all, many of us, young people, very energetic, very productive, many educated, we find ourselves in this very demeaning, degrading, desperate situations because we have been failed by individuals who are in positions of power at every level of government. Parliament, county governors, senators, we have been failed. And now many of us, including those of us who are in this room and many out there, we are all at a high risk of being used as goons. If you cannot afford food, you cannot afford to go to town. Many young people are walking to town because they cannot afford that 50 bob fare. And people who are living in this kind of situations are vulnerable. They can do anything just to get by. So, and goonism is one of the things that people can find just so that they could eat. It's a very degrading situation.
Marco, at this point now, yes, who do we blame? Is it the government? We can't say it is the government funding the goons because there is no evidence right now.
I am getting to that. Now, there are people who have already been contracted to serve as goons, to go and cause chaos. First of all, you should know that your dignity, your rights as a Kenyan have been violated because you are being subjected to a very degrading treatment. You're a very sensible young person. You are strong. You should be serving in different capacity. You belong in the services. You belong in the army, in the security forces, where you should be helping in enhancing national security instead of being reduced to goons to go and disrupt, to go and threaten the life of your fellow comrade who, just like you, is a victim of politics of selfish, politics of corruption. And you cannot be sure who is really hiring these goons. You cannot be certain. People are coming in different factions, 1 term, 2 term. And all of these people, I believe that they are hiring these goons. They are hiring these people to go and disrupt this gathering for their selfish interests.
Thank you, Marco. Nikuje kwako hapo mbele. Rebecca Kemunto, you're a lawyer.
Yes.
Nikuulize. Tumeona hizo events Nyahururu and Kisumu, very unfortunate. If police have intelligence of possible attacks, na ni kweli wanasimanga kuna intelligence, why didn't they secure the areas mapema wakijua kuna goons wanakuja kwa attack?
So to answer your question, we are living in a country where we have politically sponsored violence, and that is what it is, yeah? So for example, in Keumbu, as you mentioned, Nyahururu and Kisumu, you realize that even policemen, they stood aside as the goons did what they did, So it's very hard to even tear police at this particular point. That is one. 2, our government has shown us a lot of intimidation. From Sabasaba, you could not walk. So for every 1 citizen, there were 3 policemen. And that is the situation that we're actually even anticipating in Olkalau. Everyone is saying we have actually policemen being mobilized to go to Olkalau. I mean, what is that? Intimidation, to say the least.
Safi. Hapo mbele, Madam President, utuambie, zinacheza hapo on your screen right now. These are the events which happened in Kisumu on Sunday kwa rally ya Linda Mwananchi. Naona kuna toko na marungu, not in uniform, but wako na polisi. Hii ndo ujinga tulikemea last Tuesday. Bado ndio hao. Again, kwendeni huko. Wako na marungu, mwingine ako na bunduki na pia hana uniform. Na ako na polisi mwenye ako na uniform, ako na kofia, ako na bunduki na kutuna wao hapo. Who are these people? It's a peaceful political gathering. Na kama mlikuwa mnajua kuna intelligence, mlikuwa mnajua kuna chaos erupt za goons, mbona hamkutuma polisi wenu waenda pambane na goons? Madam President, nikiendelea kuongea pia mimi nitakasirika vibaya sana. Hebu tuambie, what's your take on the use of goons ama the goonism culture kudeal na opponents in politics?
Asante sana majibu. Naona umejaa ngori, hata si kama Wakenya tumejaa ngori na tumejaa mbaya sana. Kwa majina ni Nyambura Muthoni. Mimi ni msimamizi wa mambo ya masuala ya vijana na wanawake katika secretariat ya Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i akiwania urais wa nchi ya Kenya. Nakwambia majibu, it is the first time in history tunaona polisi wana work alongside goons. Na tulianza kuraise hizi issues wakati wa maandamano. Tulikuwa na wewe majibu, tukasema tunakuja hivi tao, tukikuja maandamano pale stadi hapo tunapata vijana wako na rungu na polisi wako kando yao. And that is the least to say that we've been let down by the current government and we are calling them out. Na ndo maana tunasema ni one time. Naona huko kwa streets muuliza vijana mnasema one time, mbona mnasema one time? Mara tunaambiwa tuna agenda, lakini agenda ni hatuwezi kubali a few people what destabilize the peace of this country juu ya manufaa yao. You know, the CS and the PS of internal security, they have let us down as a country. Lakini mimi nikienda pale social media niseme one time, niseme Ruto must go, hapo ndio watanikujia, hapo ndio intelligence yao inawaka, watanikujia pale kwetu Embakasi. Lakini nikisema tukipata goons pale wanapiga mama mboga, wanapiga wasee huko nje. Na unakumbuka timu ya maandamano, there were reported cases of young women who were harassed and sexually assaulted during maandamano by these people who are paid and well organized by people in power. So we are calling you out, all of the security organs from the police service to the NIS to the DCI. We are calling you out because Kenyans no longer feel safe in their homes. And you were elected, you are paid by their taxes, na bado mnawabeba ufala. Ndio maana tunasema mnaenda 2027 mnaenda nyumbani.
Nataka tucheze because tuna complain sana, lakini pia tunafaa tusikize Kenya our leaders tunawacomplainia wanasemaje pia wao. We heard ODM leader, wanamuita youth leader Oburu Oginga at State House the other day akisema that Kenya needs a benevolent dictator. Hebu tusikie alisemaje, Mr. Director.
We have been in government. I was an assistant minister in finance. We tried to move, but private interests around who want to benefit from small infrastructure which does not move the country anywhere, always coming to put pressure on government not to move. And sometimes then there is too much democracy. There should be some little benevolent dictatorship so that some things can move.
Mnambomezidi sana pia nyinyi. Mwezi kwa kila time mnasema SHA ifanyi kazi. Mnasema watu wanakuwa abducted na hawakuwa abducted. Kila time kisikia 25th mnatokea kwa barabara. Pia nyinyi mwache serikali ifanye kazi nyinyi. That's ODM leader Oburu Oginga akisema that Kenya needs a benevolent dictator. Mkumbuke the other day pia kulikuwa na Samia Suluhu Hassan akiambia Mr. President that hawa Kenya wachape mikwaju, wakija na chapa, wakija pia tunachapa. Alisema hivyo. Are Kenyans now paying the price of the decision they made at the ballot? Ni mbaya. Tusikie pia what Sifuna, Nairobi Senator, na pia Anthony Kibagendi had to say after rally yao imekuwa disrupted pia huko Kisumu. Footage cutaways that what happened. The guys in uniform and those in civilian wakikimbizana na watu hapo. Magunzi ndo wao sasa za Kisumu hizo za Msande. Aya, ikiwa ready now the soundbite ya Sifuna, niambie Mr. Director. Tusikie Sifuna na Anthony Kibagendi walisemaje after their rally, after the chaos which erupted in their rally in Kisumu over the weekend. Aya, wakiwa church ndio hiyo inacheza, twende.
Attack by the state that has sponsored goons and police officers. And one thing I want to tell William Ruto, we know you cherry pick these police officers who do this work for you. We even know you have picked all Kalenjin police officers from the larger Nairobi County, and they have been brought to Olkalau to cause mayhem. I want to call upon Mount Kenya people. You need to rise up to the occasion.
This is the lowest I think we have sunk, that you can carry bows and arrows and pangas openly in public and go and attack people who are essentially just exercising the freedom of assembly and the freedom of worship. So I want to condemn both the incidents in Kisumu, the incidents in Nyahururu.
Aya, mwasikia pia Kisumu kalinuka. Turudi hapa studio. Umeona what happened. Nikuulize sahi, you've seen the previous sentiments by Oburu, what happened over the weekend. Why should Kenyans believe that future campaigns zitakuwa peaceful? Sahi tuko July maze. Hata hatujafika hata hiyo 2027 yenyewe. Why should we believe that future campaigns will be peaceful?
Okay, at first, my name is Francis Munderu, a youth leader from Nakuru County. At first, Majibu, I will not want to give comments on what Oburu said. I told you I was in Nyahururu. And what we saw, we weren't praying for that day for Ruto to go home. What we saw, we were praying for God to take us home safely. Me, I can tell after church, after service, as the leaders were signing the visitors book, there was more than 50 people and 2 police land cruisers. I have even the clips. Wakipea backup hao wase wakamwarushe mawe kwa church. Sisi wase wenye tulikuanga hapo kwa church ni watu 4 peke yake kwa gate ya church. Hao wengine ni wazazi, wamama na watoi. Wase wameanza kurusha mawe kwa church. Na church is a small compound, imagine.
Mkienda before hata muone hizo land cruisers za police and everything, kulikuwa na tension. Unajua unaweza ingia place uone tu environment imechange, kuna tension. Hiyo tension ilikuwa mkiingia.
There was no tension. The church was very peaceful and people were just getting in and out, and even the gate wasn't closed. After the church, that's when they started throwing stones. So we had to wait in the church. You know, imagine mkiwa kwa church, kwa kanisa, where people go to worship God and pray, where Dr. William Ruto was praying before he became president, where other leaders have been praying. Kina Mwangi Kionjori, he was crying in that church, AIPCA Nyahururu Cathedral, before he got elected as an MP. Now, imagine after the church now, we managed to chase away the goons Majibu and get out. After we got out, just few meters, Governor Kangata's vehicle was the first one. It was stoned, hadi karibu windows zote zianguke, na goons wametugoja kwa kona. We managed to get into town. Oh, you can't want to know what happened.
So walikuwa wana target normal Kenyans when wamekuja kwa hiyo rally, ama pia mazile magari za nini?
At first I think walikuwa na target church na the clergy. Then after the politicians left, the leaders left, at a certain roundabout, they start targeting the leaders, Kina Kibagendi and Kangata. They stoned that vehicle, and then they were unable because the vehicle was at a higher rate. And then I was also feeling sorry for your people, the media people. Imagine someone is on top of a vehicle with a camera, and the stones are raining. Unajua mawe zikinyesha. Huyo msee, how is he sure that he will be able to take the report? We got into the rally. We stayed into the rally. After 5 minutes, Majibu, I can tell you what happened there. You cannot want even to know. The stones zinakam kutoka kwa ofisi ya DC. the rally was kept near deceased office. People are throwing stones from the deceased office, stones. Then people had to run for safety, even the media people. Imagine, we are going to put the governor in his vehicles. The driver is shot and the key is not there. How will we run? I saw Kibagendi running for 1 kilometer. Governor Kangata, who his leg was broken the other day, he was running as well. So, our country currently where we are not safe. According to those goons, they were paid 300 for them to go and take the deposit of the remaining money, 700, after doing the work that they did. We are not at a safer place. That place has police. The police weren't even, they didn't have an idea of protecting the citizens. That is which is very bad.
Zinacheza hapo ni picha za Nyahururu. Za chaos. So kama gari ya governor inakuwa attacked na rushiwa mawe, dereva wa governor anapigwa risasi rubber bullet kwa kifua. Naoni mtu mwenye ako na bodyguard, ako na security. What of the normal Kenyan mwenye ameenda kwa hiyo rally? Wengine walikuwa nenda na watoto, wamebeba watoto kwa mgongo. I hope wenye wanatumika pia, mnatumika tu sahi, but mjue decision mna make the ballot. Sahi hata tuwezi walaumu by the way. Sasa kama sina kazi, ni sawa. Nenda kuna mic side nyingine. Yes, chief. Umeona kenye ime happen. Watu wanakuwa attacked in church. Gari ya governor inakuwa attacked, dereva wake anakuwa injured na rubber bullet. Na ujue, yani mnakujua mpaka kwa kanisa. Are Kenyans really safe? Mahali tuko sahi.
Thank you. My name is Kiplagat Babu Menjo, born and raised in Cherangani and also incoming member of Parliament Cherangani. First and foremost, it's very unfortunate that we are here as a country where people are mobilizing youths so that they can push for goons to attack people at church and all over the country. Very unfortunate, and this thing hasn't begun today. It has been there all along, since 2023, 2024, and 2025, and 2026. Sometimes we need to blame ourselves, because most of us, we have been entertaining this culture of Goonism. Because I remember during the 2024 finance bill protest, we the youth were agitated with the finance bill and went to the street, and we are complaining about the government and the current MPs for that time. And I remember very clearly, these goons, they started attacking home of parliamentarians by that time, because I remember home of Oscar Sudi and the club was attacked at Timbexo. We praise these people for attacking it. We are very happy, say, to occupy, to Salimia. That time again, I remember Kimani Kuria, MP for Molo. Also, his home was attacked. I remember his chicken farm that contained 10,000 chicken was burned down, completely down. It was completely destroyed. His house was also burned down. We, the young people, by that time, we were spreading hashtag on social media, Twitter, TikTok, everyone saying that tomorrow, what. We are very happy by the actions. And then the MP for Kieni, Wainaina, his supermarkets was destroyed. They were looted. They looted everything and they burned. I remember the Chieni supermarket in Nyeri. They looted everything. They totally robbed everything. I remember the Chieni in Nanyuki. Everything was stolen. After they finished stealing everything, they decided to burn it down. The Chieni supermarket in Chaka, they also looted everything. Also, I remember recently the 2025 protest when you are demonstrating about the fuel crisis. The MP for Chesumei, Lori, was burned down completely, that trailer. He really cries saying that, you have burned down my lorry, it has taken me out of hardback so that I can get it. Also, there's a guy around Thika Road who had a UDF flag in his car. His car was burned down. And that people are very happy that how does this has to do with UDF flag? We decided to burn his car. A Mazda CX-5, that was totally new. We are very happy. I remember Teacher Shea, who was a TikToker, had shared pictures of people, goons who destroyed that car. People on social media started attacking Teacher Shea, saying, calling him a snitch. Yes, ameonyesha watu attack the car. So me, my attitude, the Goonism is very bad. This culture, we must condemn it. But we should stop selective criticism. Whether they attack people in government or people in opposition, we should condemn these goons, because nobody owns goons. Today you use them to attack another person, but tomorrow they'll be used to attack you, because goons are available to the highest bidder. So I like us as a country and media. We should stop selective criticism. And I also like to comment about what Oburu said. Can I be given a chance?
Yes.
Yes, Oburu said that in this country that we got enough freedom, and I agree with him, but the party said that she loved benevolent dictatorship. I don't know if I don't understand English, but according to my understanding, benevolent dictatorship is where a leader has powers that has the goodwill for the people. There's some things that you want to do for the people. But the people, you can Google there. You can use your
So,
dictionary. I like to
kidogo
educate you.
tu,
Yes. Let me explain
Mshaanza.
benevolent dictatorship. Let me explain.
Kidogo tu.
Let's let's stop emotions and allow me to talk. Yes.
Kidogo tu ana explain. Pia yako na right.
Yes, you can note down. You can note down.
Kiongozi umesema in short una support.
I'm not supporting, but I want to explain. I want to explain so that I can give my comments on it. Oburu says there's too much democracy. You should have benevolent dictatorship. According to me, is where a leader has some power so that he has things that you want to do that are good for the people, but there are people who are dragging him down so that he can push them for the benefit of the people. Okay. That's what Oburu, and even Oburu come and explain. I wish you could play both clips, the first one and the one explaining. And according, I didn't do my research. Benevolent dictatorship, where someone pushing for the benefit of the people, but there's some people dragging him behind. Yeah. So you want to push it, so later they realize that thing is benefiting them. I can give example. Like the president want to do most of the things in this country, but this Kenya, we have too much.
Kidogo tu we, kidogo.
I'm telling you, you can call on me, but here is facts.
Before nipatie Charlotte pale mbele, kiongozi ni
people are going to court. There are many things you want to do. This guy, my friend, is coming from the Western Kenya. The president wanted to build for us Rironi Summit Road.
Yeah. Before nipatie Charlotte pale mbele endelea conversation. Yeah. Tulisikia Kenya Buru alisema si wote. Yeah. According to you, ni wapi kwenye you think Kenyans went too far in criticizing the government where you feel wanafaa kutiliwa mkazo kidogo?
Let me give an example. For example, the president I'll give an example. The president wanted to construct the Rironi Summit. Some people went to court so that they were complaining about that road. But some people whom we need that road. The people who are living in Western Kenya, living in Nyanza, and living in Rift Valley, because we need that road for Rironi Summit to be constructed, because we are suffering. People are complaining, they are going to court complaining that they don't want that road to be connected. But they are going to court because the president, they are tolling 8 shillings per kilometer. But I can give you an example. Once we the people in Rift Valley, we need that road. So shut up, I talk.
Sawa kidogo.
Your time will come. Your time will come for me to respond.
Kidogo tunafaa tuwe na democracy. It is a democratic. The country may not be democratic, but this show is very democratic. Naomba nikuulize swali, Chief. Kuna mwingine amesema pale ni wa Rift Valley. Acha atuambie mbona yeye anapinga hiyo barabara kujengwa. Kidogo tu kiongozi. Mpatilishe tu mic. Amesema pia ni wa Rift Valley. Tuambie.
The problem is not the what. The problem is the how. Acha nikwambie. Ukijenga barabara, we have engineers, we have economists. These people are great. These people are normal citizens. Wanajua bei ya mabarabara, wanajua bei ya projects. So when we're having projects that are being done at 3x, 4 times the amount, I mean, it's absurd. So we are not saying no to projects. We are saying we are not content as a citizen. Remember again, when you're running a country...
Thank you wakili. I think kidogo tu acha nipatie mwenzangu pale mbele Charlotte Kibet. Umesikia Kenya wamesema hii side nyingine majenzi kumeanza kuwaka moto, but nikikurushia, do we need a benevolent dictator? Na pia kuna statement ya police, they said that they arrested 14 suspects in regard to the chaos witnessed in Nyahururu and Kisumu. Is there any likelihood of those guys being prosecuted? Kazi kwako Charlotte.
Imewaka moto kiasi and you're trying to put the water down kidogo, and I truly understand people's opinions and how they view their particular aspects as well for this particular topic. Allow me to introduce just my amazing panelists. I think they're very familiar to everyone, so kuna haja hata niwa introduce, but allow me to introduce James Mulamba, who's a revolutionary. And Jared Oye, right? Nimesema vizuri this time, si ndio? Okay, sawa. ODM Youth League, karibuni sana. I just want us to also emphasize the fact that Gunism is not new in this country. We have a 120-year pact, or let me say, years with Gunism itself, an identification with Kenya with Gunism. There is a man called John Enworth, who was the British East African Commissioner. When alitumia goons, walikuwa wanajiita, auxiliaries in the country kusaidia ku manage Kenya as a place for East Africa. So it's not something that we are new with it. And then we see post-independence, tunaona vijana wa Moi, right? Watu walikuwa na defend Moi. We see Mungiki again as well. So it's not new in our country. So Jared, karibu sana na Mulamba. Allow me to ask you, from ODM Youth League, right? When we hear the youth senator, quote unquote, akisema we need a benevolent leader, what does that mean? And number two, to you, who is a goon in this country?
Thank you very much, Charlotte.
Yes.
I think allow me first to start by greeting our viewers. It's long since
Kabisa, karibu
Z
tena.
Manifesto. It's also very important to maybe, if you allow me to start with the part on the goon side, part of it. Where we are not going to regionalize the goons, or whether, or neither are we going to tribalize goon. They are all over the country. Unfortunately, with the devolution, we have devolved goonship. Today, we personally blame not one-sided side of the governance of our country, be it the opposition or the government. Today, if you go to your MC, you'll find them that they're having security. And these securities, they are goons. If you go to an MP, you'll find they have the security. The question that we're asking them, is the security being provided by the state not enough for them? And what's the fear that they have at the leadership? That is one. Number two, if again you go to our leadership, the devolved leadership, from governors to senators to women rep, everybody, why do they walk around with 550 or 10 unemployed gentlemen around them to provide security for what? What do they fear are amongst their own constituents, the people who voted them in? Unfortunately, this again goes to the elected leaders that we are having in the country. They have not been able to industrialize and provide job opportunities for our young people. They're gallant. I'll say that they are available for cheap handouts to provide such securities. We now, I think Mulambwa is running for a position in 2027. Yes. Personally, I'm also maybe having ambitions. I think we are going to be solution-oriented, not lamenting as they are doing. We have private security providers in the country. If there's a feeling that the police service, which we have there, and other security operators are not providing security that is needed for our leaders, then we need to opt maybe for the service, for the private security providers to give security if they need. For such.
Jared, as you even become honest, and I want Mulamba to jump on this, you know, you being on the streets and probably being more active, probably more than us, and you seeing probably more things than us, do you think inaogopesha kiasi come 2027? Because both of you have said you're both aspirants. So, mimi nikikuona na goon 2027, ni kublame ama ni blame system?
I am not going to use goons. I have no interest.
Are goons necessary evil?
No, they are not. We don't even need them. The goon question is coming up because we have entrenched, regularized and normalized the use of and the misuse of young people in politics to provide security, as they say, and to intimidate, harass and brutalize our opponents. I think you would win a debate by ideology, agendas and ideas than you would by brutalizing your opponents. As it is, we've not solved this problem for a very long time. I don't think we were giving this conversation its due diligence. We were brushing it over and glossing over this subject because hatukuwa tumefikiwa. Let me just state it as it
Nani
is.
hajafikiwa?
Sisi wote hatukuwa tumefikiwa, especially the young people.
In terms of what?
When we went to the streets, before we went to the streets, hakukuwa na watu rika yangu wengi walikuwa wana demonize the goon situation we have in Kenya. Lakini tulifikiwa. So tukaenda streets, tukatumiwa goons. Tukarealize, oh wait a minute. It is this bad. Tunaweza pigwa hivi.
Imagine.
Tunaweza kuwa tuko kwa street tunasema Lagat must go, must resign, alafu kuna mtu amelipwa anasema must come. Kumbe inaweza kuwa noma. So we voiced our frustration and decried the goons menace in Kenya. Watu walikuwa wamekaa nyumbani, mtu hajaipigwa na goon, hajaikuwa harassed na goon. Waona? Nasema sasa mtu mwenye ako nyumbani hajaiona goon, hajaipigwa na goon. Alikuwa anashindwa, vijana wanasema nini? Kwani goon ni nani? Mimi sijaipatana na goon. Mimi najua tu kupanga laini, kupewa 200 niende nyumbani. Na ikikuwa mzuri sana nipigwe 500 ya jirongo. Hawa wanasema nini?
Napenda mwenye uongelea 500. Mimi nataka kujua goons wanalipanga ngapi averagely, because as I googled and I researched, I say it's either 500 bob. How much? 300.
I will not comment on that because
Okay.
I
We just want to know how much.
how would you
not a
even
goon.
know?
No, like,
Unless you're a goon, you give us.
Unless you are friends who are good.
Let me emphasize.
Unless you're a goon.
Let me emphasize, everyone. I think all of us kama nyinyi mumeenda most rally, so you know sometimes on the groups, some I think had already admitted to us that wamekuwa kwa hizo WhatsApp groups wameona. So umesema 300, 500. 300 then 500 later. Sawa. We'll get back to you guys.
So as I was saying,
I want you just to hold that thought kidogo. Jared, I know it's a bit burning, but we're coming back to this particular panel as well. For those who are watching at home, tafadhalini, we want to hear your feedback back at home. Nani ni goon? What are goons? You know, and is goonism the face of dictatorship sahi as a country? So wale ambao wana watch nyumbani, jamani, fikiria hiyo 500 ni worth it wewe kuchukua kiboko, kuumiza mtu mwingine hadi mwingine wanakufa jamani. So see you all shortly after this break here on Gen Z Manifesto.
Hihi wina kioria kana woni wegie umemerekia wa Kameme TV. Twandikire woni waku kuhitukira Facebook @Kameme TV Kenya, X @Kameme TV Kenya, na twandikire email kuhitukira info@mediamax.co.ke. Kameme TV, muthigi wa ruriri.
Adwonyoba Mwago Orihaha Saturday 18th July. You better be ready. Amutura Kurehera Gomo Festivals, one like no other. Nikoria the Cedar Mall Nanyuki Dirikana. It's a weekend. Imagine Mogiri road trip na vibes Sien Nanyuki Nakatoni Young, John Bogwa, John Jaggi Kariuki Wake Rotara 90K. Washuka wa Musheru, DJ Dibu, DJ Ricky Way na DJ Makdi Makarudhea Midhuiregeta. Kogora ticket yako hihinya star 826 star 72 hash. Single ticket ni 1500. Ticket na bus fare to and from Nairobi ni shilingi girida tu peke yake. Group of 5 6500. Doge tukirego tiwo Nairobi we formless. Jaza basi twende Nanyuki. Powered by Mega Max Waves.
True understanding requires more than a headline. The People Daily app delivers our trusted in-depth journalism directly to you. Get comprehensive reporting, insightful political analyses and special features optimized for your life on the go. Get the stories that deserve your attention wherever you are. The People Daily app. News that moves with you.
As the sun rises, so do we. As we trust it to rise and set without any worries interrupting your day. StarTime's home solar solution with solar panels, hybrid inverter, and lithium battery. Powering your prosperity and happier life. Empowering you to do the things that really matter. A complete and reliable home solar solution. Call us today. StarTime Solar. Power your life.
Welcome back to the Gen Z Manifesto hapa ambao kumewaka moto kidogo, but I assure you we are going to create solutions for this country, not only as the young people wenye ambao wanasema wanatumika kama goons, but pia wale solution makers, as my panelist here Jared amesema hawatatumia goons for their politics. Na tunawaona ikifika time yenu jamani. Allow me to also just put the question of the day out there. Rada ni gani na story ya goonism, right? Tumeongelea goonism, who is a goon, how much is a goon paid. Unajua unafika jadi unakuwa goon. Unajua tukublame kama wewe ni goon ama tu justify una kitu kwa mfuko na una chakula ya leo. So Jared, karibu sana once more, and Malemba as well, karibu sana to the show. As you were mentioning, both of you are running, right, for political positions. So as we discussed, is it a necessary evil as well? And we also discussed how much money they get. So swali langu ni, is it something that, are you both of you a bit scared as well as political aspirants, but also as a Kenyan, that this might grow into a monster that we might not be able to handle it come 2027? And I think it's important probably for some of us who are really young during 2007 to 2008 may have not have a big recollection of what happened. But I don't know if you guys have seen online just the videos that have been being playing online, especially on X, right? Videos of what happened in 2007. And in every sector of this country, we had armed militia, everyone protecting each of their own. So swali langu ni, both of you, I'll start with you, Jared. Are you scared for you as a political aspirant in this country to vie? And do you need goons? Kwa sababu sai goons ni kila mtu, si ndio? Kuna serikali, kuna oppositions, kuna organizations. So do you need a goon ukivai?
I think Charlotte, this need to go out clear to the public, to my generation, and to the nation, both leadership and the ones who are the alternative government. It is so saddening. I think at some point when you're watching the happenings in Kisumu, you can't differentiate between the goon and the police officers, because you find police officers, some of them are also carrying the cards and the clouds
Kisumu ones, yes.
And they are in plain clothes. And I think there was a court ruling that was put forward that in such crowd we need to identify who is a police officer and who is not. And I think there's also not a complaint but a clarification that came from I think Amin, the DCI boss, that some of this, the police officers or security operators are not uniformed. But again, we need to know them even if they're not uniformed. If they hata kama itabidi wakuwe na badge, then we should have that. I remember, I think when we were in this show sometime back, yes, sometime back, I think these were some of the reforms that maybe the CS Emeritus Maraga maybe proposed during the police reform that he was working around the country. Because I think these are some of the menaces that we are having around that you can differentiate the goon and the police. And in most cases, again, I think at some point we have the goons, I'll not even use the term goons, yes, who are some point will say maybe they have the militia training in them as well. There are these who go to maybe NYS and then they fail to get into the forces or the apparatus in some cases. There are those who maybe are having this the trainings around. But now it comes back to the government, not this government, but even the previous governments. Because a good example, a gentleman have graduated or a lady have graduated, no job, for how long? So to me it's not the current government, but the governments that have been there. I think to me it goes beyond maybe after post-Kibaki era. That's from 2012.
Yeah.
If we could have been having ways of absorbing maybe the graduates into the job market, we couldn't be where we are today. Okay. But now the solution that comes in now, are we going to be able to create the opportunities for these people not to be misused? And if the politicians and the leaders are feeling that they need to maybe fence and have more security around them, if the ones being given by the security apparatus is not enough, then let them contract official security providers. We have them around, the G4S and so on,
Jared,
and such.
Allow me to ask
Let me land.
Yes, please do. Okay.
There's this question again on the goon, before I come to maybe the use and the monetary part of it. We have institutions, the DCI, the intelligent apparatus in the country. Maybe it's not only DCI. What are they doing? That's one of the tough questions. Because this, like that gentleman there is saying that having information, he ought to be someone to give the detailed information. They're talking about that having WhatsApp groups. We need to know who is financing them. If to happen that we know who is giving them how much, who is financing these people? These are some of the tough questions that we need to
Jared,
put everybody onto board.
Let me ask. Also, tukijua how much they get or who these people are, what's the next way?
The next thing, maybe some of them will need a rehabilitation. A number of them are on drug. That is one. Sorry, let me learn.
Okay, so
some of them are on drug. Maybe we will need a rehabilitation back to the society. Number three, I think I've said it again and again. I think James also touched on it. We need to industrialize our economy and create opportunities. If these people are integrated into our economy, they're not to be able to be misused.
So shida unemployment.
Unemployment. And then is our security, not security, but intelligent apparatus operational. If this gentleman can say in a national TV that they know the person who pays them and how much, we need to know that who are the people financing these schools, be it from the government side, opposition side, or organization.
Thank you so much. Olave, what do you have to say on this, particularly with the experience that you have as a Kenyan, as a revolutionary, as an activist being on the street? What comes into mind as Gerald said, unemployment ni shida? Now also, umesema, there's something important you've said. You mentioned that kama we need to rehabilitate these people back to society. But my question as well, to back to you and Mulamba, is these are people in society. Wakimaliza kupiga mtu, si wanarudi kwa nyumba zao?
Exactly.
Sindio?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, right? They have families, they have wives, they have children. Mulamba, back to you.
I will pick up from where I left, because I think I was not properly understood. You remember the quote about when they came for the farmer, I was silent. When they came for the doctor, because I'm not a doctor. When they came for the engineer, this is the exact situation we are in. Nilianza na kusema, mutafikiwa. I was not intimidating or threatening anyone. I was just speaking myself into the reality. When goons were sent to Gen Z protests and they infiltrated our protests, beat us senseless, unfortunately, injured most of us, and raped our young girls.
Allow me to ask, were you injured one way or another?
Yes.
Okay, allow me to ask again, who here has been injured, beat up, hurt? Inua mkono, if you are a victim. Inua mkono? Okay, so one, two. Thank you.
So, part of the majority of Kenyans were silent kwa sababu hawakuwa wamefikiwa. Wakristo hawakuwa wametulia vizuri kwa sababu hawakuwa wamefikiwa. Now goons are being sent to churches. Wakristo wako zile, this is not the country we want. Waislamu wametulia sahi kwa sababu hawajafikiwa. Watafikiwa. Sahi vile tunaongea, our folks in the rural areas, in the interlands of Kenya, huko up country, were silent about the goons menace. Hawakuwa wamefikiwa. Sasa goons wanatumwa hata huko interior, huko ushago. Mlisema goons ni watu wa town. Hii ni maneno ya michezo ya town hii, vitu manufactured hii. Wacha wapige hao commercial activist, iko sawa. Sasa huko nyumbani, si pia nyinyi mmefikiwa? Sasa sisi tukikosa kuongea collectively as a country, mwenye anapigwa ni Mkenya. Mwenye anatumwa kupiga watu ni Mkenya. Mwenye analipa watu wakuje kupigana ni Mkenya. Let us localize this problem. It's a Kenyan problem. Tukikosa kuongea kama wa Kenya, mkumbuke hata wewe mwenye hujafikiwa utafikiwa. Sasa usingoje ufikiwe ndio sasa useme hii kitu ni mbaya. We were discussing with Jared hapa tukiwa break, and he mentioned something. Ambulance ikipita kwa mtaa yako na wewe hauna mtu mgonjwa na wewe si mgonjwa,
haitakuwa fair.
That's unnecessary noise. Lakini wakati inakuja kwenu, imekuja hapo kwenu sasa kuchukua relative wako, kuchukua wewe, sasa ndio una realize this is necessary noise. Tumangoja hii ambulance ikuje, tumepiga St John's wamesema zao ziko busy. Tumepiga Mama Lucy wamesema hawana ambulance hai. Ile yenye imekuja hata kama itakuja 5 hours later, manze asanteni kwa kukuja. Please pigeni kelele yote mnataka. Tulitaka sana ambulance. So we can't afford to be silent on the goons menace in this country, because one way or another utafikiwa. And as I get to the core of this subject, I think we are romanticizing the goon issue by referring to goons as goons. We are not even supposed to call them goons. These guys are terrorists. They are thugs. They are hooligans. They are armed robbers. And they are everything vile. They are every vile word in this country. And they are criminals. And they are treasonous criminals. They are actually anarchists. There is just no way. So, a Kenyan who has a sober mind would take 500 shillings to beat, brutalize, rape, maim, injure, and kill a fellow citizen. It just doesn't make sense unless you are a terrorist, unless you are a criminal, unless you are a hooligan, unless you've suspended your thinking. And I need to remind politicians that you cannot buy a goon. You can only hire one. You can only rent one. And they are very cheap. After you are done with them, Someone else who has the same interest as you of misusing young people will hire the same goons to beat you up.
Let me ask Mulamba. We know, I mean, all of us are familiar with individuals or an individual who, was a prime goon, right? But now serves as a board member of hospitals, right? So do you think this is the way? Do you think I can umesema shida ni unemployment, so if I am vocal enough, if I am loud enough, then I'll be noticed to get a job.
I'm going to give Jared Oye an opportunity to chip in on this because the person you are referring to,
calm down a little bit, tunyamaze kidogo tu.
The person you are referring to belongs to his party.
Wacha tunyamaze kidogo because Jared Oye comes from ODM Youth League, right? Wacha tusikie. Jared, please continue.
Goon mobilizer.
I think we also need to differentiate between mobilizers, goons, and thugs.
But what does he?
Sasa ndo mimi nakujibu.
Okay.
Sasa mimi ndo nakujibu.
Sawa. Acha
mwanzo kabisa, the gentleman that maybe you want to refer to is someone who have had his story outside here. Who he was and how he is today.
Yes.
There's a point I say that we can reintegrate these people back into the society. If today Calvin Sokoth Gaucho is useful to Mama Lucy Hospital, at least he's connecting the masses and society outside the hospital to the board and the hospital management and operations. I think that's something we need to applaud. If we can have such people transformed and integrated into the society, it will be very meaningful and contribute meaningfully onto our society.
Do you think he's transformed?
Exactly. And what I'm saying and what I believe in.
Because
Gaucho himself, I'll quote him because he have said this in podcasts and in media, that he was a bad boy then. He was a bad boy then. Let me say, as you want to use that part, that term, former goon then. If he transformed and changed, just like Christians people do,
but let me ask Jared. Allow me to just ask this, right? He got there by his popularity of quote-unquote goonism.
No. Calvin's Gaucho ran for Landimawe MCA in 2022. He was cleared by EICC and all other institutions that clear candidates. He was clean. That's why I think it was clear to run for that position. You get?
It's okay.
This was a typical example of maybe how people can transform back into society to be very meaningful individuals in our country. There's a point there, Charlotte, that I think was burning me. That was the 14 members, the 14 people who were arrested. To me, I think that's a very little minimal number. That is very insignificant. The people we have been seeing around, the thuggery, the people who have been moving around are so many. Their faces are all over on our cameras.
Yes.
Their numbers and their relatives are known all over the country. 14, I think, is very minimal. And this is one of the tough questions. If you leave alone the goon part of it, that's the other day, I think, the one that happened in Westlands. When the gentleman went in there and harassed those who are having their time. Yeah, if you can remember. So it is only on goon. I think it's like a yardstick on our security where we are as a nation. Our security personnel need to step up to the role. I think the first thing they need to do that is very patriotic is just protect our nation and our citizenry. Some of us are armless. We don't have any other way to protect ourselves if they can protect us. And I think that's why it also will come in that if the state will not protect me, I'll have to protect myself. And this gives us and leaves us with big question. Are we going to go the Haiti way? There were policemen went to Haiti to benchmark how maybe a nation runs off from the grail of the nationhood. I'm pretty sure that we can't allow ourselves to lose who we are as a country. It will be so unfortunate for us.
Of course, I totally agree. I don't think anyone has an idea, or a sane person will not have an idea of wanting their country to go into anarchy, right? We want to have a system that works for everyone. Upite kwa barabara, mimi kama mwanamke nisiogope kuna mtu atanishika. Unajua kuna mtu atani pull kando. Mulamba, you were saying you wanted to jump on this particular
Let me address myself to the zero wisdom of being a goon.
Rudia hiyo tena.
The zero wisdom
of
being a goon.
Okay.
So Charlotte, I'll pay you 500 shillings today to attack Jared and to harass his political campaigners and strategists.
His family.
And his family.
Yeah.
And then I am putting you at a risk. The risk of death. You could be beaten by a mob justice. The risk of injury. The risk of property loss. Wale wenye tulishika hapa CBD, walirudi nyumbani na pikipiki kweli?
Hawakurudi nazo.
Walirudi nazo? Zingine za loan, zingine za tajiri wako. Sasa utaenda kumwambia pikipiki yako mdosi ilichomwa nikifanya nini? And there is the risk of long-term cost. Because these guys are jeopardizing their good records with the state. Leo wanakutumia, wako na furaha na wewe, wako sawa na wewe. Lakini kesho ukiendea certificate of good conduct, na tulikushika, sisi ambao tulikutuma, tuko kwa serikali kwa mfano, tukakutumia vibaya, sisi ndio utakujia good conduct kwetu. Na sisi ndio tumekupeleka kotini na tukakufunga mwaka moja. Sasa sisi tutakupea good conduct?
Haiwezekani.
Sisi ambao tunakutumia vibaya leo hii ndio utakuja kutuomba kazi kesho. Labda kesho utakuwa umepiga luku yako safi. Utakuja kuniomba kazi mimi after nimekutumia kama guni.
Yeah.
A week ago, 2 months ago, a year ago. Mimi nitakupea hiyo kazi. Alafu these guys are forgetting that short-term gains are ephemeral. They are fleeting. They are transient.
Kama niko na fuliza, kama niko hapo sina chakula ya leo jioni, nitafikiria ka short term.
See, we are having this problem, especially it's more pronounced right now because we have a youth bulge in this country.
Yes.
And unemployment is really a mess. And it is put all of us in a difficult situation, to say the least. But that is not a license or legitimization for you to become a good. That is not the only option on the table. Bana hata eri upige mjengo, eri uuze mahindi, eri hata uuze maji, uuza na mkokoteni, eri hata uoshe vyombo kwa hoteli kuliko kukua gun. And I'll get to the solutions later. But as of now, I think we have had this problem subsist for all this while. Because as a country, we've not paid due diligence to this conversation. Hatujajiita kamkutano tujiulize what is a better way forward.
But let me ask, right? Because you've again, I repeat this, Gunism is not a new thing in our country. We have 120 years history with Gunism in our country, all the way from 1846, guys. Hadi saa hii, jamani. You know, it's quite a disgrace that we still do that from the 1800s to now to the 21st century. I think that's very odd and very weird as well. But saa hii ni kama kila mtu anahitaji gun. Watu wakisema ni serikali iko na gun, pia opposition iko na gun. I remember in 2025 when people were going to the streets, even young people had to hire guns for themselves.
Nelson
to be
Koech,
protected on the streets.
Nelson Koech, the Belgut MP, said, sisi kila mtu kwa viongozi tuko na guns. I think that is the most honest statement I have heard from a politician for a very long time. Wachana hata na truthful man. That is as truthful as it can be.
Absolutely.
So, how did we get here?
Nataka hiyo swali ambalo
and how can we get ourselves out of this particular situation?
So swali langu ni majibu, allow us to throw this majibu to ski audience and then we'll just come back to us as well so that you can give your comments on that. Majibu, watu wako wanasema aje, na Mulamba ameuliza swali important, how did we get here, how do we get out from it? Kuna way uko mbele, and I'm serious, I'm really concerned come 2027 because if you are joking with this matter now, 2027 is going to be highlighted in a manner probably we might never have seen in this country. So, jamani, nikikuuliza majibu on your side, what are people saying particularly on Gonism and how do we get out from here? Or do we blame unemployment ama tumbo lazima ishibe?
Thank you, Charlotte. But before niingie studio, kuna watu waliuliza swali pia home. Convoy inaendelea ndani ya studio na pia kule mtaani. Na mbwa pale social media kumechemuka mbaya. Haya, comments ndio hizo. Bwana director niekewa kwanza tuliuliza swali, rada ni gani na story ya Gunism? Rada ni gani na story ya Gunism? Wacha tusikie Nyakomo anasemaje pia wao. Maxi from Nairobi saying there is nothing at all Oburu and the entire family Linda Ground is telling us because even all demonstrations have been happening. They are paying money to people of Kisumu so that they cannot come out at the day of maandamano, and we should not take into danger and corruption because of their own interests. Ayoni Monyamaxi from Nairobi. Collins Ruto from Kachibora, Cherangani, anasema from my observations and personal experience, it seems that many of these goons are organized to serve the interests of specific politicians. For example, when two politicians are competing for the same seat and enjoy almost equal support, let's say 50% versus 40%, the one who appears to be trailing may organize groups of goons to intimidate opponents or project an image of strength. Monia Collins anasema pia opponents wanaweza kuwa wana organize chaos. Next, anasema the electric light did not come from continuous improvement of candles. Overhaul the rogue system. Anasema safisha wote kabisa. Mwingine anasema it's about time we stop calling them goons and start addressing them by their deserved title, state-sponsored militia. Alo, si goons tena, ni state-sponsored militia. This is a dangerous path we are treading. Man Hoggins from Ongata, Rongai. Tumekusikia bana Hoggins mazee. Anasema tusiwaite goons, tuwaite state-sponsored militia. Through the studio, we have Stella Cherop. Recently, tumekuwa na the calls for benevolent dictatorship. Alafu, almost immediately, tunaanza kuona goons waki-attack innocent Kenyans hadi kwa church, waki-attack opponents. Hiyo ndio Kenya tulikuwa tunaambiwa.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say this. From a scholarly perspective, we need to understand that the state has monopoly over violence. And therefore, when you see these goons, these state-sponsored militias, as some call them, it is because they have been approved. And that is why you'd see some of the security sector players working alongside them. Now, to your question, we need to understand something. This issue is two-pronged. One, because of the politics of patronage. Patronage in that people who do not deserve, people who should not be holding positions are given. And as a result, they bring chaos in whatever system there is, be it in the finance, education, health sector, etc. And that now causes a blundering effect whereby things don't work, and as a result, people are stressed, people don't have jobs, hence creating the positions of goons. Now, when we have goons, we now have the political economy of impunity. What is political economy of impunity? You see, those now who are in power, in whatever positions, be it in the parastatals, in the government itself, they want to secure and protect their positions of power. So what do? They decide to hire goons. And you know, because the goon networks, they are funded informally. When it comes to prosecution is not done at the state level, at the sponsor level. It is done at the individual level of the goon. So therefore, you cannot jail away goonism. So what is happening in the country is that it is much cheaper to hire violence than lose power. And I think that is what is happening in the state. Those who are in power are seeing, even if we send goons, that one person can be sacrificed. But me, if I leave this seat, it is too expensive. So I think we need to throw back.
So are you simply saying that goonism is a way of maintaining power?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Goonism is a way of maintaining power. And that is why I'm saying the solution is only for prosecution to be done at the sponsorship level, not the individual goon level.
Safi.
Thank you.
Aya,
Yes.
nikuje kwako chief. Kuna issue imekuja hapo. Na unasema, okay, I think tukikuja kwa issue ya goons, kuna mobilization kwanza. Inafanyika, wanakuwa transported kwa ile spot wanafaa wapelekwe. Kuna kulipwa pia, kama kuna kulipwa sijui ni pesa ngapi wagawane hiyo pesa yote. Alafu baada serikali inakuja inasema that they still need to do investigations. Sijui nini. Kwanza nikuulize, who benefits when peaceful political gatherings are infiltrated by goons?
Okay, thank you. First, before I answer your question, Charlotte started saying that we should accept people's view. But we won't come here on a national television and accept stupid views from people. There's no way you'll come on a national television and defend goonism. We saw the other day in Nyahururu, Governor Kangata was almost killed by goons. And now these goons, they have upgraded their game. They are no longer carrying stones. They are now carrying arrows on broad daylight. And we have someone here coming to tell us that Goonism is acceptable, and when we try to ask him, he's telling us about Thika Road. That is stupidity of the highest level. And now,
sawa.
oh, there's someone who's defending Goonism here. This man is defending Goonism.
Pia yuko na chance ya kusema Kenya anasema pia yeye.
No, that is liquid intelligence.
Aya, malizia chief.
Now, and you see, this nation will go into dogs. You see countries like Haiti, it started like that. Countries like Nigeria. Do you know, but you shut up when I'm speaking, bro. You see.
Aya, malizia. Chief, tunakuja kwako sasa.
In some countries like Nigeria, you see, in some countries like Nigeria, there are some countries that you cannot do anything before you hire the goons, because they must protect your thing. And this is where Kenya is heading to. And if the government does not intervene on this issue, we will be into dogs. And let me tell you, Goonism is not, it is even in high school. On Sunday, Jomo Kenyatta boys, they banned the whole high school, and the police are saying that they overwhelmed the police. Now tell me, if high school kids are overwhelming the police, what about if they come out here? These are the goons that we are going to have.
Safi chief, kuna kiongozi hajaongea hapa my brother. Tumeona whatever has been happening over the weekend mpaka saa hii. Do you trust the police to conduct investigations? Wanasema 14 have been arrested. Lakini mpaka saa hii no one at the top leadership has been arrested mpaka saa hii in connection to the chaos witnessed on Sunday. Na lazima kuna financials wa goons, tuongee tu kweli bana. Kuna watu wanawalipa watu. Mbona tujiona mtu hata mmoja? Wenye wameshika wote ni wale vijana pale mtaani.
Thank you. Ledama Oleuno from Kilgoris, Narok County. Concerning the events of Sunday, first I'd like to agree with you that Goonism culture should never be accepted in this country, in whatever form, whether you are supporting 4-term, 2-term, 1-term, or whichever political discourse. Because one, Goonism will not favor. It will favor you today, but it will not favor you tomorrow. And to be honest, I have to say this, that the police have to up their game. I would like to agree with whatever Jared had said, that the 14 people who were arrested in connection to goons is a limited number. In reference to the numbers they come publicly to do whatever they are doing. I would like to say that the police still need to up their game, to bring them to book, and to go along in making sure that the financials are also brought to book.
Kiongozi, we saw police escorting some of these guys who are not in uniform. Do you still trust the same police force to conduct the same investigations and bring to book those who are allegedly working with them?
I say I still trust the police because the president himself pronounced himself last month and directing the cabinet secretary Kipchumba Murkomen in charge of interior to take or to deal with the goon situation in the country. So I still have belief that the police, with the directions from the president, will still have the opportunity to deal with this issue. And let me give you history.
Briefly too.
Let me give you a small history.
10 seconds,
There
Mwanzako pia
were the
ongea.
Mungiki in the central Kenya and Nairobi. There were Sungu Sungu in western or in Nyanza. There were others in the coastal part of Kenya. The country then felt like it will never come to pass. But it came to pass because the government took its position. And I still believe that the current government will still take its position and make sure that this culture will come to an end.
Safi Mr. Ledama na sio Lekina. Niko na mwenzako hapa anaitwa Andrew Kandie from Baringo. Gen Z ni show ya kila mtu regardless of the place you're coming from. Hii ni show ya kila mtu mazee. Nikuulize, mwenzako amesema that he still trusts the government to conduct investigations to bring to book all the guys who are allegedly financing these chaos kulipo goons. Unawaamini? Ama do you concur with whatever he's saying?
Thank you very much. As you rightfully said, my name is Andrew Kandie from Baringo County, Kabartonjo. So I want to agree with my friend Ledama that the government has a lot to do concerning Goonism. I believe the government has the jurisdiction to end Goonism, and I trust the government on the same, because where I come from, when this government took over, there was the issue of banditry. We cried for so many years. It's 3 years down the line. the issue of banditry is neutralized. So I trust this same government to end goonism. Yes, I trust. And actually, for your information, Kemunto, for your information, I am just from, see, let me finish. I'm just from Baringo today. I traveled today. And I want to inform you, the Nakuru Mau Summit Road is being done.
Sawa, kuna pati ya maendeleo lakini pia kuna
I'm just telling you. There's a solution.
Tulia bosi.
So I'm just saying
hatuko kwa maendeleo, tunajua hadi talanta inajengwa. Lakini sasa hii we have very limited time.
Let me prosecute my point. Yes.
But security.
No, I'm just saying.
Aya, mwacha malize.
I'm just saying the road is being done and the people who have been employed are young people. These young people, instead, they would have been in goonism. That's what I'm saying.
Aya, safi. Aya, tunamalizia but ningependa kupatia chance watu watatu at least. Hapo Madam President na hapo kando tukimalizia. Sawa. Kidogo tu tukiuliza as we wind up, he said before nirushie mwenzangu Charlotte pale mbele, pia niulize, who do you think ama what do you think is solution to ending goonism culture in this country, because it appears it is deeply rooted in our societies?
For now, the goons, few people have been identified to disrupt rallies and cause chaos here and there. But if we are not careful, if we do not step up this fight, then we are going to have very many people identified. And like I told you when I started, many Kenyans unemployed, very desperate, at a high risk of being employed as goons. So we are going to have, like somebody from home said, that we are going to have organized militias who are going to disrupt elections, even in 2027. And I want to pose this question to all of us who are at home and those of us who are here. Do you, in fact, believe that all these factions, the one-term, two-term, are in fact staging some of these goons to disrupt their political rallies? Because because I really believe so. Because the kind of politics that we have is manipulation. It's a mind game. Someone can disrupt their rallies to draw attention of the country. They want sympathy. They want to be seen as people who are being mistreated. So fellow Kenyans, you should not get lost in this slogan of two-term, one-term. And some of these rallies are not serving you. These are elected members of parliament, senators who should be sitting in parliament, who should be summoning all of these officers.
Scofield, I'm requesting muulize swali moja na kuna solution hapo mbele. Kindly, kuna swali amepose, naomba atujibu tu kindly.
Just a point.
Hapo mbele kiongozi. Kuna swali request muuliza tupatie solution. Who do you think, because police wamesema wanafanya investigations kwenye amekuwa arrested, lakini you don't believe the police in conducting investigations, proper investigations, who do you think then is suitable enough kumaliza goonism in this country?
Let me say this. I believe in one person. I don't know him personally or anything, but there's this one person. You know, they say history is permanent, but power is temporary. Dr. Okengo Fred Matiang'i, when that guy was in government, or in all his departments, that guy did exemplary well.
Safi.
And I believe
kuna jamaa director, kuna jamaa naambua hata hajaongea. Haya. Kiongozi, hebu mpatie microphone aongee, tuambie tukimalizia show. Briefly too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Amani Joshua, and directly answering your question, it's so unfortunate to see our country being leveraged in a state of a balangewa. These are political animals. The government, there is no way the goons can be masquerading under the government machineries, and they are just watching. The issue of goons, the political elites have exploited or are exploiting the what you call economic disparitions in such a way that they are taking advantage of unemployed youths and for cheaper and they are taking advantage of unemployed youth for cheaper for cheaper political intimidations
Safi,
and
kiongozi.
political violence.
Safi. Asante bwana. Ama 10 seconds basi umalize. Na mbona nafaa kufunga hii side. Nafaa kumalizia hii side yangu. Nafaa kumalizia but mpatie 10 seconds amalizie point yake. 10 seconds amalizie Amani. Tuambie Amani.
Thank you so much. The government is actually shifting from what you call a diplomacy to what you call political bravado. That's why you know political bravado is there whereby someone is coming to the public to chest his thumb. That's why they are using goons.
Safi.
They are using goons. These are the state sponsored militia.
Aya na mbona nafaa kurushia Charlotte ile side nyingine. Maswali ni mengi mazee kushinda majibu.
Charlotte, just for 10 seconds.
Lakini nafaa kumalizia show saa hii mazee. Kamera yangu ni gani director? Ni hii ama ni hii?
10 seconds.
Lakini niwaambie kitu bana. As much as tuna complain na historia ya goons. Goons si watu wameimportiwa from a different country. Ni watu tunaishi nao. Ni mabrother zetu, ni cousins zetu na ni wase tuko nao pale mtaa. Hatuwezi walaumu juu hakuna jobs. Hatuwezi walaumu entirely juu pia hakuna kazi. Juu sahi pia pale TikTok ukiangalia our sisters lazima wauze paka ndo wapate masimba. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Hakuna jobs. Vijana pia lazima goons wapate kitu kidogo ndo pia wapate kitu kidogo bana ya kujisupport. Lakini I hope as much as mnachukua hiyo do pia ikifika ni kwa ballot, please make the right decision. I hope mko kadi. Until next time, my name is Majibu Kisao. Nafunga hii side yangu lakini pia napatia mwenzangu Charlotte Kibet atumalize ile side nyingine. SK.
Asante sana Majibu. Hadi nimesikia joto. Hata sijui nitoe hii jamani, sijui niseme aje. Na najua hii topic ni difficult. Na tusione hapa mtu anaenda kuwa good. Unajua next time. Jaya, last statements from both of you of what you've had hapa. Mtu ametupea big words, right, from the dictionary. Ngine tutabidi tuende to Google. But last words from you, Jared, tukimaliza na Mulamba about this particular issue. Allow us to please keep quiet wamalize statements yao. Jared.
I think I'm in agreement with the banditry case that you have seen in the country. We expect the same force that the state used to crush banditry. And the same that was used then during the Linda Inchi operation wakati tulivamiwa na Al-Shabaab. It's the same force we're expecting them to use on goon. We don't need to treat this thing casual as they're doing. I think on the goon thing, that's from my end. 5 seconds. There was a comment that was made, but maybe
next time.
Thank
you so much. Mulamba, tafadhali.
Nasikia tu vibaya hata hatujafika kwa solutions za goons.
Imekuwa.
Tunaweza fanya hiyo next week.
Inaniuma sana. Well, mwenye anasema hakuna solutions is a lazy thinker. Let me get to it. It is unfortunate that as a young person you would agree to be misused by a politician as they continue looting from you and oppressing you. The mobilization and deployment of goons imperils and punctures the democratic gains we've made as a country.
Thank you.
The political tolerance and the progress we've made as a country. It is quite unfortunate that we are discussing this menace 63 years later.
Thank you so much, Mulamba. Thank you so much, Jared. Thank you for all of you. For all those who are watching back at home, allow me to just show you an image. Hii ni yangu ya pikipiki, but watu wakitembea hivi town, right? 2027, this is the image you will be seeing. Ukipanga laini, how scary is this? So if we don't bring a solution to this country now, kila mtu itabidi anunue, si ndio? So see you next week here on Z Manifesto, the biggest show as my co-host Majibu anapenda kusema.
Kameme TV, Muthegi wa Ruriri.